Hello, this is Kenny from Stoner Camera Review, and today we're going to talk about a bunch of shit, but most importantly, happy 420. Yeah. So this might be the last pre-legalization march in Toronto, so I'm actually thinking of going down, checking out, and taking a few cameras with me. First of all, let's get high. So it is 420, and I figured I'd make a video. What do I want to talk about? I got a few things in mind. Son of a bitch. I need to reload my vape, so maybe I'll keep talking, see if this works. I don't know. Alright, so yeah, I'm thinking maybe I'll take a few cameras down there to the march and do some shooting. I'm going to be taking what you mostly see there, minus the 35-1.2 Voigtlander. Probably going to shoot some black and white and color film. I'm not even high yet, so you're gonna have to wait a minute. Alright, so let's reboot this. I've been loving the packs recently. I don't even smoke joints anymore. I used to do pipes, but yeah, it's been all vapes these days. Loving the vape. And for anyone who hasn't tried a vape, I mean, it is like a good way to go. Like my lungs feel cleaner, and just knowing the fact that theoretically you are lighting chemical compounds before pre-combustion to inhale and have an active THC without the extra crap is nice. So what I want to talk about today. Well, let me give you a little bit of history. I've had a Leica for 6 years. It was the M6 TTL. Decided I wasn't shooting film anymore, so I ditched it. Had it for the longest time with just a 35 Voigtlander pancake lens. Really liked the Voigtlander stuff. And I want to go over some stuff that I find that just isn't common knowledge to people that don't shoot Leicas, and maybe I can explain a little bit about why I kind of fell back in love with shooting a Leica, and what the kind of things that drew me to a Leica in the first place, and you know what made it to be such a daily thing for me when I shoot film. And I'm starting to shoot a little more film, there's a few reasons for shooting film. I like that it is a very personal thing to me. I don't have to show photos to people. I like the fact that you shoot for yourself first before thinking about Instagramming it or tweeting it or twatting it. I don't know. it really is nice that this is something just for you. Like, you dropped an egg off, you were the first person to see it. There's something very personal about it that I enjoy, and I might start taking this to events and jobs, and especially weddings, to shoot, as my personal camera. I think it might be a good way to go about. I'll still shoot my DSLRs for things like weddings, but maybe bring this into the mix. This is just a personal camera that has a bit of a different look. But anyways, so yeah, I recently dived right back into it, and this is a possibly one of the last, I don't know if you see a number there, but it's an M3 115836395. It is possibly one of the last 1,000 M3s ever made. So, got it. Shutter blew up on me. Got it repaired. It was replaced with not a great shutter. It was just kind of cosmetically a little flawed, but I think it'll be fine for the purposes. But yeah, so this is what I've amassed so far. I've got a 35-25 Voigtlander Leica thread mount with a little adapter that got it going in there, and I've only had it for a couple days, so I haven't shot with this setup yet specifically. But it again brings me back to a lot of things that I love about Leica and the mechanics of rangefinder shooting. So I'll just go over what I've amassed so far. I've got the Voigtlander 35-1.2. This thing's a fucking beast. It's a brick, and I kind of regret it after buying it, realizing how heavy it is. And I'm not going to be one of those rich Leica guys who thinks you got to buy the latest and greatest. I shoot professionally with digital cameras, and God knows they're already plenty of expensive. I don't need to spend the expensive money on this. This is personal to me. I mean, sure, if I had the money in the bank, maybe, but I don't care that much. But I do enjoy shooting a rangefinder. So I picked up the Voigtlander external meter, and I've got the metering on my app, my phone app, but I just like guessing the exposures and getting it right. But this is really good for extended shooting on a Leica camera like the Leica M3. And things you're never probably gonna use a camera like this, so what do I fucking care? Who's gonna want to shoot a camera without a meter? I don't know. But it's here, and I'll tell you why I enjoy using it. First of all, well, let's go over some of the stuff I've been enjoying. JCH Street Pan, I really like it. It's a very contrasty film. I've shot maybe about 2-3 rolls that I haven't developed. No, it's developed, but I just haven't developed it myself. And the thing is, I used to be a film developer. I used to shoot during the day and develop at night. And I just don't, film is great in that you can do as little work or as much work as you want. So, another reason I like film. And, it's crazy to think that, if you see some of these very historical photos, like Robert Capa's landing on D-Day, shot on a 35mm film, and seeing a piece of film like that, and knowing that that piece of film traveled to the beaches of Normandy, and there's stories about how Capa kind of weaseled his way back, because he claimed that he had to deliver the film in one piece, obviously. I mean, the myth and the stories and the physicality of just seeing a negative like that, knowing it's gone through hell and back. That's insane. It's mind-blowing shit. But let's move on. I picked up this Canon 1.8 thread mount lens for not a lot of money. I like it. I haven't really shot it much on color yet, so I don't know. I think it's going to be like one of those like warmer tone lenses. And here's the thing with film. I've shot all kinds of film, from like black and white, chrome, infrared. Like I've shot lots and lots of film. Nowadays, I just shoot whatever's lying around. So, you know, I'll shoot some black and white, I'll shoot some color, I'll shoot some like Agfa Vista 400. I don't care. It's all film. It's all good. Shoot it. I don't really afraid it. I mean, I mistreat my film, but I mean that's film these days. No one expects perfection from it. If you want perfection or you want to tweak it, you can shoot digital to your heart's content. Yeah, so this is what I've got kind of racked up, but let's go back to why I particularly like. These are some of the inside like things, maybe like ergonomics that I always like to tell people that I'm out of weed again. God damn it. I always like to tell people that a Leica shoots very much like a Leica works very much like an instrument, as opposed to like a digital SLR, which is more of a computer. And a lot of people get really confused about this, so I kind of want to explain and go over why things are the way they are. So, first of all, you know, I should take this out of its case. I managed to find a used M3 case with a quick rapid peak design strap. I don't know if you can see it. Trying it out, but I did get this case because the lugs on this camera are actually kind of loose. They turn a bit, so I don't know if it's like if these lugs would just pop out or what, but I did like the connection with these little strings on the peak design strap to be better. I mean, I think that's in theory, because the ring might turn these lugs loose. That's what I'm thinking, so I'm gonna go with that. But anyways, oh fuck, I didn't record any of this. I'm such a fucking idiot. Okay, well, the sound's gonna come from my Panasonic G85, which is fine. Man, I don't know. I don't really pre-plan these shoots, so I just decided to get high and turn on go, so that's what it is. So anyways, and how does Leica operate like an instrument? You got a few things. This is one of the things I find most particularly a thing that people don't get, that between the 30, 50, and 60, 50 is your flash sync speed. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to try and do it, but there you go. This 3-click here, when you are kind of out shooting and you aren't looking at your camera, you just have your hand kind of out here and you're flicking through the settings. When you feel those 3 bumps, it tells you are precisely at 30, 50, or 60. And because primarily most people on here shoot 35 or 50 mil lenses, you kind of already know where your minimum might be with not having to get shutter shake, like a camera lens shake. Oh, I'm fucking high. You know, it puts you at that base where it's like, you can find your shutter speed you can find that shutter speed consistently without ever having to look at your camera. Like, I'm not even looking at it. It's just, there it is. and you can go off of that left or right depending on, you know. But it puts you at a base orientation where you know where your shutter speed is by feel. You don't have to look at an LCD screen. You have to read anything. You know, they say that like I'm a big believer in that, like, you know, if you bring your Leica up to your eye, you should be ready to shoot. You should be ready to shoot. Not focusing, not checking your exposures, none of that shit. But, so the neat thing is, if you Sunny 16 it, which is, you know, that puts this distance in your exposure range, as in what's in focus. Is that there? Is that there? There you go. There's this little lever down here that lets you know this is mid-focus range, and this is the near range. And you know, if you're just walking down your trap zone shooting, you can easily figure out the range they're at by feel. That's just another cool thing about shooting a Leica. A lot of other lenses have tabs and shit like that, but this lever on this particular 35, it's just a sweet little, you know, very fast focusing, because this lens has an extremely short throw, and I've always kind of like kept an eye out on it because it is a pretty cool, you know, retro looking camera. And it's a 2.5, which I like because I think I'm going to go out with this today and shoot, because this is insanely heavy, but it's great. It's just heavy. So we talked about the shutter speed. Oh, and like, I mean, come on, man. The viewfinder on this is just... There is no substitute for showing you this viewfinder, because there's like a 0.92 magnification. This is the highest Leica magnification finder, and it is, there's no the truth is there is no magnification. It's a one-time real-time scale, and when you look through this with your right eye and out here look out into the range, the field, whatever you're shooting, with the other, it's like you feel like you're kind of part Terminator, because it's got this window that just pops out, and it doesn't just distort your vision, so you can shoot all day long with two eyes, with both eyes wide open. A lot of people, another quirk with this is that you don't, I think with this viewfinder, you only see 40mm frame line. You don't see the full frame of 32. But if you shoot 35mm often enough to guess, you know, you kind of know it's just outside the window of the camera. So yeah, I'm just guessing at my framing, but again, it has that magic of like, to me, when I first started shooting photos, it was the magic of getting something but not expecting quite something back, and I think not seeing the lines, but knowing it by feel, and then getting it, but you're still like not seeing. You're still seeing something completely new because it's just like a little bit off. The lens a little bit off from viewfinder, and you're not shooting a DSLR, which is also very like depth of field biased. I think and I like this as a change because I tend to notice that when I strictly shot DSLRs or SLRs, I favored the very heavy or shallow depth of field, because that's what your camera sees, and you want to closely render that because you're seeing the image that you want to capture. Leica takes a different step because it makes you want to shoot a little higher. It makes you want to shoot with a large depth of field bias, just because you are seeing f 64 in here, because your eyes is just gonna like rack through near subjects, rear subjects. It is f 64 to your eye, and you want to capture it that way, which is kind of cool. So it's kind of one of those things I thought was really cool about Leica's and the whole rangefinder shooting experience. Not much else to say, man. I am way overran this clip, so happy 420. All right, man.